Truth is the foundation of personal freedom. When you live a life built on truth, you're no longer bound by the limitations of deceit or self-deception. Lies create invisible barriers, holding you back from reaching your true potential. Every time you lie to yourself, you add another chain to your spirit, another layer of weight that hinders your progress. But when you confront the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be, you set yourself free. You allow yourself to grow, to evolve, and to move forward. The truth may not always feel easy, but it is always liberating. It's the key that unlocks your potential. And without it, you'll never truly experience the freedom of living the life you were meant to live. Self-deception delays progress. Every time you choose to ignore the truth about yourself, your circumstances, or your decisions, you put a halt to your growth. When you lie to yourself, you create an illusion of progress, but in reality, you're standing still. The longer you avoid confronting the truth, the further you push away your destiny. Success and purpose are always tied to reality. And until you face that reality, you'll find yourself stuck in cycles of frustration and stagnation. Growth only happens when you are willing to acknowledge where you truly are and what needs to change. It's uncomfortable to admit our flaws or confront the areas where we've been pretending, but without that honesty, true transformation is impossible. Authenticity breeds success. When you are true to yourself, you create the foundation for lasting progress. Pretending to be someone you're not or ignoring your true desires only leads to frustration and confusion. Success comes from aligning your actions with your authentic self, not from trying to live up to false expectations or the standards of others. When you embrace who you truly are, you gain clarity, and that clarity directs your energy in the right direction. Authenticity also attracts the right opportunities and relationships into your life because people are drawn to those who are real and genuine. Living in truth allows you to walk confidently in your purpose, and that confidence opens doors that would remain closed to someone living a lie. True success is built on being honest about who you are, what you want, and what you are capable of achieving. The mind can only grow through the truth. When you embrace reality and confront the facts about your life, your mind expands and matures. Lies and self-deception create mental roadblocks, preventing growth and keeping you stuck in the same patterns of thinking. But when you are honest with yourself, you open the door to new possibilities. Truth challenges your mind to think critically, to question assumptions, and to seek deeper understanding. It pushes you to face your weaknesses and recognize your strengths. As you engage with the truth, your mind becomes sharper, more focused, and more capable of handling the challenges of life. Growth is only possible when you feed your mind with honesty, allowing it to break free from the limitations of falsehoods. Lies may feel like a temporary escape, but they ultimately stunt your ability to grow and learn. The more you confront the truth, the more your mind will flourish, unlocking new levels of potential and wisdom. Denial is the enemy of potential. When you deny the truth about yourself, your abilities, or your situation, you limit the possibilities for growth. You can't develop what you refuse to acknowledge. Potential isn't just about talent or opportunity, it's about recognizing where you are and what needs to change for you to move forward. Denial blinds you to your weaknesses, making it impossible to strengthen them. It also hides your strengths, keeping you from using them to their full capacity. The longer you stay in denial, the further you push your true potential out of reach. Only when you face reality can you begin to nurture the gifts you have and address the areas that need improvement. The truth may be uncomfortable, but it's the pathway to unlocking the greatness inside you. Embrace it, and you'll discover that your potential has always been there, waiting for you to recognize it and bring it to life. Fear is the root of most lies. When we lie to ourselves, it's often because we are afraid of failure, rejection, or the unknown. Fear convinces us that it's safer to avoid the truth, to stay in our comfort zone, and to protect ourselves from discomfort. But the truth is that fear keeps you trapped in a false reality, preventing you from reaching the freedom and success that come with honesty. Facing your fears is the only way to overcome them. When you acknowledge the fears that drive your self-deception, you take the first step toward breaking free from their control. Fear loses its power the moment you confront it with truth. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Fear feeds on lies, but truth starves it. The more you face the truth, the less hold fear has over your life, and the more confidently you can walk into your destiny. Truth sets you free, but fear keeps you bound. Honesty opens doors that lies keep shut. When you are honest with yourself and others, opportunities begin to appear that were once hidden by the fog of deception. Lies may provide temporary relief or comfort, but they ultimately close off pathways to growth, progress, and success. When you live in truth, you align yourself with reality, and in that alignment, new possibilities become visible. Honesty builds trust within yourself and with others, and trust is the foundation of all meaningful relationships and opportunities. People are drawn to those who are genuine, and they want to invest in those who live authentically. Lies, on the other hand, erode trust and keep you from building the connections and opportunities you need to thrive. When you are truthful about your goals, your strengths, and even your limitations, you create a clear path for the right doors to open. The opportunities that come from honesty are lasting, whereas those built on falsehoods will eventually crumble. Truth is the key that unlocks doors to your future, while lies keep you trapped in the present, unable to move forward. Transformation begins with self-honesty. The journey of change and growth cannot commence until you are willing to confront the truth about your current situation. When you deny your reality, you remain stuck, unable to see the steps you need to take to move forward. Self-honesty requires courage, as it often involves facing uncomfortable truths about yourself, your habits, and your choices. However, this process is essential for genuine transformation. It is in this honest self-assessment that you can identify the areas that need improvement and recognize the patterns that have held you back. Once you acknowledge where you are, you can set realistic goals and create a plan to achieve them. Embracing the truth about your circumstances empowers you to take actionable steps toward the life you desire. This process not only fosters personal growth, but also cultivates resilience and confidence as you begin to see the fruits of your honesty manifest in tangible changes. Without this commitment to truth, transformation remains a distant dream, always just out of reach. Lies create illusions, but the truth builds a solid foundation for life. When you are honest with yourself, you create a life that can withstand challenges, setbacks, and hardships. Lies might make things seem easier in the short term, but they are like building on sand. Eventually, the storms of life will come, and the illusions will crumble. As the famous quote from Mark Twain says, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. This applies to your inner life as well. When you live in truth, you don't need to constantly rearrange the pieces of your reality to fit your lies. You are free to focus on growth, progress, and purpose. Truth builds resilience because it forces you to confront reality and deal with things as they are. It teaches you to stand strong in difficult moments to face what is rather than run from it. Lies, on the other hand, weaken your foundation. They may feel like they protect you, but in reality, they are eroding your strength from within. Honesty creates the bedrock upon which you can build lasting success, happiness, and peace. When you commit to living in truth, you are constructing a life that can weather any storm, one that is unshakable because it is rooted in reality, not illusion. Embracing vulnerability is a powerful catalyst for growth. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable and honest about your feelings, fears, and experiences, you open the door to deeper connections and understanding. Vulnerability is often perceived as weakness, but in truth, it is a sign of strength and authenticity. It takes courage to show your true self, to share your struggles and uncertainties, and to admit that you don't have all the answers. By doing so, you invite others to do the same, creating an environment of trust and support. When you embrace vulnerability, you also confront the lies you tell yourself. You become aware of the self-imposed barriers that have held you back, and you begin to dismantle them. This process fosters resilience and encourages you to step outside your comfort zone. You learn that mistakes and failures are part of the journey, not a reflection of your worth. As you navigate the complexities of life with honesty and vulnerability, you find strength in your authenticity. This openness not only enriches your personal relationships, but also empowers you to pursue your goals with greater passion and determination. In embracing vulnerability, you discover the profound truth that growth often resides on the other side of fear, and that real strength lies in being true to yourself. Authenticity, they're attracted to passion. They respect those who have the courage to be themselves, to pursue their dreams, to live life on their own terms. So by embracing the truth that nobody cares about you, by using that truth to fuel your own growth and development, you will paradoxically Become someone that people do care about, but the difference is you won't need that care anymore. You won't be dependent on it. You will appreciate it, sure, but you won't require it to validate your worth or to motivate your actions. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be saying, but I have family and friends who care about me. Are you saying they don't matter? Of course. Not the love and support of family and friends are precious gifts, but even the people closest to you can't care about your life, your dreams, your goals as much as you do. They have their own lives to live, their own dreams to pursue, and that's okay. That's how it should be, because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with the consequences of your choices. You're the one who has to look in the mirror and face yourself. You're the one who has to lie down at night with your thoughts, your regrets, your aspirations. So while the love and support of others are wonderful, they can't be the driving force in your life. They can't be the reason you get up in the morning, the reason you push two hardships, the reason you keep going when everything seems to be falling apart. That drive, that motivation, that unwavering belief in yourself, that has to come from within, and it can only come from within when you truly understand and embrace the fact that nobody cares about you as much as you need to care about yourself. This truth that nobody cares about you, it's like a fire. It can either burn you or it can forge you into something stronger, something better. The choice is yours. Will you let it consume you with bitterness and resentment? Will you use it as an excuse to give up on your dreams, to settle for a life of mediocrity, or will you let it refine you? Will you use it to burn away your need for external validation, your fear of judgment, your habit of playing small? Will you let it forge you into someone who's resilient, who's self-reliant, who's unstoppable in the pursuit of their goals? The fire is burning. The choice is yours. And let me tell you, when you choose to let this truth refine you rather than define you, that's when the magic happens. That's when you start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. That's when you start to find strength in situations that would have broken you before, because when you stop caring about whether others care about you, you free up so much mental and emotional energy that you can now direct towards your goals, your growth, your success. Think about how much time and effort you spend trying to make people like you're trying to win their approval, trying to fit into their expectations. Now imagine channeling all that energy into improving yourself, into pursuing your passions, into making your dreams a reality. The results will be extraordinary, wouldn't they? And that's the potential that lies within you right now. That's the power you can tap into the moment you embrace this truth. Knowing this truth isn't enough. Understanding it intellectually isn't enough. You need to internalize it. You need to let it sink into your bones, become a part of your DNA, because there will be times when you forget. There will be moments when you slip back into old patterns, when you start seeking validation from others, when you stop basing your worth on people's opinions of you. And that's okay. We're human. We're not perfect. The important thing is to recognize when it's happening and to gently remind yourself of the truth. Remind yourself that your worth isn't determined by others' opinions of you. Remind yourself that your dreams don't need anyone else's approval. Remind yourself that the only person who needs to believe in you is you. And then get back up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. The world needs you, not the you that's trying to please everyone, not the you that's living according to others' expectations, but the real you, the authentic you, the you that emerges when you stop caring about whether others care about you. The world needs your unique gifts, your special talents, your particular perspective. The world needs the dreams that only you can bring to life, there the problems that only you can solve, the value that only you can create. But the world won't come knocking on your door begging you to share these gifts. The world won't roll out a red carpet for you. The world won't clear the path ahead of you. No, the world will challenge you. It will test you. It will throw obstacles in your way. And that's a good thing, because these challenges, these tests, these obstacles, they're not meant to stop you. They're meant to reveal you. They're meant to show you what you're truly capable of. They're meant to strip away all the false layers, all the masks you've been wearing, all the pretenses you've been hiding behind. They're meant to reveal the real you, the strong, resilient, unstoppable you that's been there all along, waiting for this moment to emerge. So embrace the challenges, welcome the obstacles, see them not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to grow, to learn, to become stronger. Because when you stop caring about whether others care about you, when you start living life on your own terms, that's when you become unstoppable. That's when you become unshakable. That's when you become truly free to pursue your passions. Without fear of judgment, free to express your true self without worrying about fitting in, free to chase your dreams without being held back by others' doubts or criticisms, and in that freedom you will find a joy and a fulfillment that you've never experienced before. You will find a sense of purpose that will drive you forward. Even on the toughest days, you will find a strength within yourself that you never knew existed. But remember, this journey isn't just about you. Yes, it starts with you. It starts with embracing the truth that nobody cares about you and using that as a catalyst for personal growth and self-improvement. But it doesn't end there, because as you grow, as you improve, as you become the best version of yourself, you will naturally start to impact the lives of others. You will start to inspire people, not through your words, but through your actions, through the way you live your life. You will become a living, breathing example of what's possible when someone stops seeking external validation and starts living authentically. You will become a beacon of hope for others who are still trapped in the prison of people pleasing and approve seeking. And that's when something beautiful happens. That's when you start to create a ripple effect of positive change in the world around you, when you embrace the truth that nobody cares about you. When you use that truth to fuel your personal growth and pursue your dreams, you give others permission to do the same. You show them that it's okay to be themselves, that it's possible to live life on their own terms, that they don't need anyone else's approval to be happy and successful. And in doing so, you create a community of authentic, purpose-driven